Hare Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Ram Hare 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 Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Ram Hare 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 Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Ram Hare 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 Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Ram Hare Ram 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 Hare Hare Krishna Krishna Hare Hare Ram Hare 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 Krishna Krishna Hare Hare Ram Hare Ram Hare Krishna Hare Hare Ram Hare Ram Hare Krishna Hare Hare Ram Hare Ram 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 Hare Hare. Hare Krishna Prabhu.
Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna to all the assembled devotees. प्रभु जी मेरी आवाज ठीक से आ रही है? Are you able to listen? Okay. So today we have been given the opportunity to do service to Srimad Bhagavatam. So we can start that with the Mangalacharan. ओम ज्ञानतिमिरन्दस्य ज्ञानञ्जना शलाकया चक्षुर्मिलितं येन तस्मै श्रीगुरुवे नमः। श्रीचैतन्यमनोभीष्टं स्थापितं येन भूतले स्वयं रूपकदा मह्यं ददाति स्वपदान्तिकं। वन्देऽहं श्रीगुरु श्रीयुतः पदकमलं श्रीगुरुन् वैष्णवांशं च श्रीरूपं साग्रजातं सहगना रघुनाथान्वितं तं सजीवं साद्वैतं सावधूतं परिजन सहितं कृष्ण चैतन्य देवं श्री राधा कृष्ण पदान् सहगन श्री ललिता श्री विशाखा नमश्च। हे कृष्ण करुणा सिंधु दीनबंधु जगतपते गोपेश गोपिका कांत श्री राधा कांत नमोस्तुते। जयतां सुरतो पंगुर्ममः मन्मतेर्गति मत्सर्वस्य पदाम्बोजो श्री राधा मदन मोहनो। दिव्यद् वृंदावरण्य कल्पद्रुमाद श्रीमद् रत्नागर सिंहासनस्थौ श्रीमद् राधा श्रील गोविंद देवो पृष्ठालिभिः सेव्यमानो स्मरामि। श्रीमान् रासरसारंभी वंशीवट तटस्थितः कर्शन वेणुसनेर गोपीर गोपीनाथ श्रीयस्तु नः। तप्त कांचन गौरंगी श्री राधे वृंदावनेश्वरी वृषभानुसुते देवी प्रणमामि हरि प्रिये। वाञ्छाकल्पतरुभ्यश्च कृपा सिन्धुभ्येव च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः। जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासादि गौर भक्ता वृंद। हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे। नारायणं नमस्कृत्यं नरं चैव नरोत्तमं देवीं सरस्वतीं व्यासं ततो जयमुद्धीरये। नष्टप्राय स्वभद्रेषु नित्यं भागवत सेवया भगवते उत्तम श्लोके भक्तिर्भवति नश्यति। नमः ओं विष्णुपदाय कृष्ण पृष्ठाय भूतले श्रीमते नवयुगेन्द्र स्वामिनी नामिने नमस्ते प्रभुपाद देवनाम संकीर्तन प्रचारिणे निर्विशेष शून्यवादी समस्तन। नमः ओं विष्णुपदाय कृष्ण पृष्ठाय भूतले श्रीमते भक्ति वेदांत स्वामिनी नामिने नमस्ते सरस्वती देवे गौरवाणी प्रचारिणे निर्विशेष शून्यवादी पाश्चात्य देशतारिणे।
Just one minute, Ravi Prabhu, did we send the message to the group?
Yes, Prabhu, I did.
Yeah, we might have to send again, saying that we have a giving class so the devotee can join. Sorry, Prabhu, we can proceed.
Hare Krishna. So, Hare Krishna to all the assembled devotees. Today is very fortunate day for me that I have got the opportunity at the correct time when we have to read Bhagavatam. Normally, I usually didn't get that opportunity, but this is the day today that I got what been prescribed, the time that is prescribed by Srila Prabhupada, and I have given the opportunity to serve Srimad Bhagavatam and whatever information I have pertaining to the shloka. Whatever I will be able to speak today is all, and if you grab something from there, it is all because of the mercy of my Guru Maharaj on me. I personally don't have any capability. I know that very truly. So, but this is very important section. This section that we are reading and the opportunity for which given to me today to read is actually indicating how much merciful Lord Krishna is. So, and this Lord Krishna's mercy can easily be noticed by anyone, even one who is a Brahman, a person who is a Shudra, or of any sect, any religion, of any kind of knowledge, intelligence level. If he thoroughly understands this section, they can very easily understand that how much merciful Krishna is. So that said, just today's shloka is 1:4:25, which is Canto 1, Chapter 4, Shlok number 25, and this is in continuation. This shloka is in continuation to the past shloka, 4 or 5 shlokas of this chapter that we have read. That how come the knowledge, the ultimate knowledge, which is beneficial for not only for the Brahmanas but also to the Shudras, but also to the Vaishyas, or of any sect or religion of community of the people, as long as he or she has a human form of life, he can be benefited. So can quickly go through this shloka first of all. Shlok number 25. Stri Shudra Duja Bandhunam Triyana Shruti Gocharaha Karma Shreyasi Mudanam Shreya Evam Bhavediha Iti Bharatamakhyanam Kripaya Munim Kritam. Out of compassion, the great sage thought it wise that this would enable man to achieve the ultimate goal of life. Thus he compiled the great historical narration called the Mahabharata for women, laborers, and friends of the twice born. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. The friends of the twice born families are those who are born in the families of Brahmanas, Kshatriyas, and Vaishyas, or the spiritually cultured families, but who themselves are not equal to their forefathers. Such descendants are not recognized as such for want of purificatory achievements. The purificatory activities begin even before the birth of a child, and the seed-giving reformatory process is called Garbhadhan Sanskar. One who has not undergone such Garbhadhan Sanskar or spiritual family planning is not accepted as being of an actual twice born family. The Garbhadhan Sanskar is followed by other purificatory processes, out of which the sacred thread ceremony is one. This is performed at the time of spiritual initiation. After this particular sanskar, one is rightly called twice born. One birth is calculated during the seed-giving sanskar, and the second birth is calculated at the time of spiritual initiation. One who has been able to undergo such important samskaras can be called as bona fide twice born. If the father and the mother do not undertake the process of the spiritual family planning and simply beget children out of passion only, their children are called Dvijabandhus. These Dvijabandhus are certainly not as intelligent as the children of the regular twice born families. The Dvijabandhus are classified with the Shudras and women class, who are by nature less intelligent. The Shudras and women class do not have to undergo any sanskar, save and accept the ceremony of marriage. The less intelligent class of men, namely women, Shudras, and unqualified sons of the higher class, are devoid of necessary qualification to understand the purpose of transcendental Vedas. For them, the Mahabharata was prepared. Mahabharata was prepared. The purpose of Mahabharata is to administer the purpose of the Vedas. And therefore, within this Mahabharata, the summary Veda of Bhagavad-Gita is placed. The less intelligent are more interested in stories than in philosophy, and therefore the philosophy of the Vedas in the form of Bhagavad-Gita is spoken by Lord Sri Krishna. Vyasadeva and Lord Sri Krishna are both on the transcendental plane, and therefore they collaborated in doing good to the fallen souls of this age. The Bhagavad-Gita is the essence of all Vedic knowledge. It is the first book of spiritual values, as Upanishads are. The Vedanta philosophy is the subject matter for study by the spiritual graduates. Only postgraduate spiritual student can enter into the spiritual or devotional service of the Lord. It is a great science, and the great professor is the Lord himself in the form of Lord Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. And persons who are empowered by him can initiate others in the transcendental loving service of the Lord. So, this particular shloka, which is specifically targeted to certain community, caste, creed, and the person, is certainly doesn't have its limit up to this shloka only. So the ultimate knowledge that we need to know is how come. Now, since I started with the phrase that we got to know that how merciful Krishna is, that we can easily understand if we have if we just trace back 4 or 5 shlokas back. In shlok number 19 of this chapter, Srila Vedavyas ji actually conducted one Veda. First of all, at the initial stage of it, there is only one Veda that was prescribed, and that Veda is basically equal to knowledge. When we say what is Veda, if somebody asks the definition of Veda, what do you mean by Vedas? Why they are in existence? So normally 2 questions comes in the mind of atheistic people who don't believe in Vedas, and what is the use of reading Vedas? Why they are into existence? Sometimes people used to say that Vedas are, who wrote it? Who actually, that should have been written by some common person like me, or some extra intelligent person like us, or maybe anyone who is human should have been written it. But when we go back to the history of our Shastras, we can definitely understand that our scriptures are really a subject matter of glorification. It cannot be, or at any point of time, can be created by any person or by any intellectual class of people. So Ved is equal to knowledge. And what kind of knowledge we are getting? From the Vedas, how to make our life successful. Everybody is striving for it, right? We all are working day and night, 8 hours. Some people are doing 2 jobs so that they can become more successful. Somebody is studying very, very much hard. They are doing graduation, then post-graduation, then further studies, just to achieve some success level. And Vedas are basically giving the knowledge for ultimate success. How to become successful in this human form of life, which you have and I have at this point. So this very moment is very important for all of us. How it is important? Because this is the only opportunity we have got to understand this knowledge, which is available at different levels. It is available for Brahmanas, who are intellectual class of people. It is available for Shudras, who are the lowest community, lowest intelligent people. Now, Brahman, Kshatriya, Vaishya, Shudra, these are the varnas based on the, not by Janma. These are the varnas based on the karmas. We all know about it. In Bhagavad-Gita, Krishna says that Janma Karma Chamedi means the by the way person is behaving or acting, what all gunas he or what all the modes he acquire determines his varna. A Shudra can also act like a Brahmana, and we have so many examples. We have a Brahmana, a person who is born in the family of Brahman is not very sure that he could be a real Brahmana himself. The Brahman has 26 qualities. So all those qualities one should know about it. One should actually gain those qualities to actually claim himself or herself that they are at the Brahmanical level. Otherwise, these are all rubber stamps. We just, from our side, we can think that, oh, I am getting the I'm in a Brahmana family, I belong to a Brahmana family. But if the qualities are not like that, then whatever he will speak will not make any impact on anyone. So the first Veda that was created, one Veda by Srila Vedavyasji, his main aim was to impart this knowledge to the common people in general, because if we read, as we have read in this chapter, Srila Vedavyas is literally incarnation, literally expansion of Krishna, like Shakta Veshavtar. He foresees the future. He foresees the future that what a degraded community is coming ahead. So when we are going somewhere, for example, if we go to some place, like if we plan to go to Chicago or we plan to go to anywhere, we pre-planned all the things most of the time. Or if we plan for India, okay, for 1 month I will be in India. I know that India, there could be an electricity problem, there could be a mosquito problem, there could be multiple other problems that I have to face in India when I will be there. So I should be ready, make myself ready for it before I go there. Now, all those readiness need some intelligence. That's why we are thinking beforehand, right? If we are not intelligent, we just plan it, we just go over there, and then we end up in a frustrated situation. Oh, why shouldn't I have planned it earlier? So this is what happens with the less intelligent class of people. The intelligent person pre-planned everything, make their planning. Okay, when I will be there, I will do this thing, that thing, and so that I can survive that situation, that circumstance over there, and complete my business for what purpose I am going over there. But Srila Vedavyasji, when he actually saw the future, he saw that even that minor intelligence will be lost in Kali Yuga, the period that is coming ahead. It's very dangerous period where we all are living. But there's the greatest boon Krishna has given. We should always admire that. It's although we are in a darkest age, but we have such a great opportunity that we have everything when we talk about to make our life successful, and that we can understand from these verses of Srimad Bhagavatam, that much liberation, that much freeness or independence or the availability of the text was not there in the earlier period. When we talk about when Vedas is just thinking on the future side of it, even 500 years before also, when we talk about when we are reading Sri Chaitanya Charitamrita, and now we are reading as we are reading Srila Bhaktivinoda Thakur pastime also in the evening. Even one single copy of Chaitanya Charitamrita was very difficult to be arranged. Not much far away, just maybe 200 years before. But right now we have the scriptures, everything. But the problem is that the miser quality, conjuice, we call it. My Guru Maharaj used to use this word very oftenly. Now, miser or conjuice is not that person who is who has no money, who don't want to spend that money, or you don't want to spend on who don't want to, who actually don't have enough property to spend. Miser or conjuice person are those persons who have the money actually, but they still are not spending it. They just keep on storing it with some plans, and later on that money will be used by their ancestor, or maybe the upcoming generation. So that usually happens most of the time. One of my friend was one of my not a friend, but a person whom I know is, he spent his life, like he first of all spent his portion of his life in working day and night like anything, because his main aim was to bring a big house, a very big house, so that he can live over there successfully. By the time he was constructing that house, he has to be there available with the masons and all the labor class over there who are constructing, because in India it's very difficult. We cannot give the construction on contract. We all know about it. We have to stand over there when laborers or masons are constructing the house, so that they should not do by their own whims. We have to direct them every time that you have to do this thing, you have to do that thing. So it's we have to be available at that moment. But this particular class of this particular section which we are talking about is the planning that we do. My focus is that by the time we are just planning, by the time he was just planning to construct his house, suddenly a one heart stroke, a one night, and all his plans, whatever the effort he has put in, gone away. This also happens with devotees. You can ask the question that this could happen to anyone, right? This could happen to any devotee also. He is planning for something, but he can also go without any notice. But there is a difference. Difference is that the way a devotee faces the challenge and the way a materialistic person faces that challenge, which we call as death or the time of ultimate exam, which my Guru Maharaj used to say that everybody used to sit in that exam one day. Everybody has to give that exam. So it's better to prepare for that exam so that we can face the questions, we can face the challenge. So the miser persons are those who have everything, but they don't spend anything. So we all are misers in one sense, that we have got this opportunity of human life. We have the capability to speak. We have the capability to see. We have the capability to admire something beautiful. We have the capability to listen something good. We have the capability to smell something good. 5 sense organs we have. All are intelligent, like intelligent cameras. Usually we used to see that in a big mall, if you go or in a big shop, you will see that even in the Walmart, you might have noticed it. There is one section where a manager sits, and that manager is sitting at one place, but he is able to watch each and every corner of the Walmart. How? Because there are cameras available everywhere. Whichever section he want to enlarge and want to see more clearly, he just click that window where that section is coming up, and that particular section get enlarged, and he can easily view over it. Similarly, this human body, this body which we are in right now is so much advanced that it has 5 intelligent cameras situated at different places. We have eyes that can give us the input from outside, and it is an intelligent sense organ. We have ears that can give us an input, and it's an intelligent sense organ. Nose, mouth, touch, skin. If somebody is blind and he touch something, he can understand what he is touching and he can find his way. There's no need to see an eye. There's no need to have an eye for it. So touch is an intelligent sense organ that gives our brain the direction. Okay, this is there. This is this object. This is that object. Take necessary decisions. Similarly, eyes. Eyes are so much intelligent. If you see something very attractive, immediately this eyes has the capability to drag this entire body to that attracted place or the attracted thing. Even it could be a movie. If you just see a billboard on the side street of a movie, upcoming movie, we got attracted and we make plans. Oh, this coming weekend we have to go and watch the movie. So whichever of these sense organs, which are intelligent cameras, got attracted, that particular organ has the capability to zoom out our desires, and it has the capability to take necessary decisions. It has the capability to drag this entire body to do something. Similarly, nose, if you smell something, if you're going to some, like in India, when we used to go, in US, it's not that prominent, but in India, when there is any shop where they are cooking samosas or jalebis, even up to few hundred meters or up to few meters, we could smell that there's somewhere nearby samosa is getting cooked, and we get attracted toward that place. It's a hot samosa coming out right now. Let's go and taste it, because nose has the capability. It just got zoomed out. It just control your desires and take it to you over there. So even after getting such an intelligent body, such an intelligent sense organ, and all these updated equipments within it, people usually waste their entire time in meetings, in eating, sleeping, mating, and defending. Just eating without considering that what they're eating. If they don't have, if they do time, if they have enough time, they just sleep. If they are making any plans, then they're just making plans for next 10 years or 20 years, and then those plans just comprise of saving some money in the bank. That's it. We have the capability to do the planning, but the problem is that we are only doing the planning for next 20 years. Why don't we plan for next 100 years? We will be there sometime, right? Why don't we plan for eternity? What will happen to me? That's the biggest irony of this life, that we are getting the data from everywhere. From everywhere, we are getting the feed that people are dying. Sometimes we hear that, okay, this people has gone. Sometimes we hear that, okay, he just slept, he never woke up in the morning. Sometimes we hear that, okay, that person has gone. Sometimes we hear that person has gone. That data is coming from everywhere, from all directions. But the data which is not coming to us is that, and how the data is coming, because through the materialistic person, through some news we are hearing. Yesterday only I was hearing the news that there's some Hindu-Muslim riots in Udaipur. You might have heard the news as well. Data is coming that people are dying, but no data is coming that where they are going after death. What is happening after death? Right at the moment, next moment after death, what is happening with me? What will be happening with me? We don't know about it. Neither we are caring about it, but it will happen with us. Up to the point I am living, I am okay. But what will be the next moment I leave this body? What will be the next day when I will be not in this body? That planning is only coming from, that information is only coming from Srimad Bhagavad-Gita. And the only capability to get that knowledge, to plan for that moment when we will be alone, when we will be just staring this material body somewhere, that information is coming from Bhagavad-Gita, and this human form has the capability to understand that information. But Srila Vedas foresaw it, that even after getting such an intelligent body, and even after acquiring such an great information, all the tools equipped, we are just wasting our time. We're just wasting our time to gain something materially oriented, material fame, material wealth. That is the ultimate goal. Material knowledge, material degrees. How much we are serious about spirituality. That is what not there when Srila Vedas-ji, in the Srila Vedas-ji period, because at that time everybody was serious. That's why there was no written form of scriptures. But Srila Vedas-ji has written in 19 chapter, in 19 shloka we read in this chapter, that how Srila Vedas envision particular degradation of the human form of life on the period on which we are living. And he saw that sacrifices are mentioned in the Vedas were means by which people occupation can be purified, and to simplify the process, he divided one Veda into 4. So that's the decision he took. Now that comes the answer to our second question. Now we already understood that what is Veda. As there is 3 questions. What is Veda? Why they are in existence? Are they created by any human being? There are 3 questions normally people usually ask. So what is Veda? Veda is knowledge that can help us to purify, that can help us to understand what is my real business, why I am this human form of life, what is the main goal of my life. My main goal is not to impress my manager. My main goal is not to do 8 hours job and earn that much money. My main goal is not to just satisfy my family. My main goal is to earn spiritual understanding, to make myself, to purify myself. And that's what Srila Vedas ji foresaw, that people occupation could be purified. And ultimate aim of Krishna, who comes in the form of Vedas ji, is to purify ourselves. And the mode he has given is this Vedas, by which he created this Veda. So Veda is the information, knowledge that can make us purified, that can purify us, that can make us understand that what my actual identity is. So are we not purified right now? Somebody can question that. What is the need of purification? Purification is needed when we are dirty from inside. And so there comes a different concept of like all the anarthas that we have, with which we are living. Kam, Krodh, Lobh, Moh, Mad, Matsar, Ahankar, and the biggest and the most dangerous enemy is jealousy. This particular enemy is also available in a devotee community also. It is so much dangerous that not only materialistic people, outside material people are jealous of each other, we know that. But jealousy is so dangerous that it also makes its place among the devotee community as well sometimes. So it's the biggest and the dangerous enemy, and it always goes at the last. All the anarthas will go first of all, but jealousy will always go at the last. These anarthas, up to the point, if they are sitting inside us, we will act like animals. Just simply serving, eating, simply working for eating, sleeping, mating, and defending. That is our impurified state. That's why a purification is needed, so that we can get rid of this material existence. And when he created one Veda, he saw that one Veda could be difficult to grasp the entire subject matter, what I have written in Vedas. So he divided one Veda into 4. And then comes 4 different Vedas: Rig Veda, Yajur Veda, Sam Veda, and Athar Veda. So all those Vedas actually come into existence to take us, to purify, to take us from impurity to purity, from andhakar, from darkness to light, so that we can understand what our real goal is, why I am still suffering in this world. And the biggest contribution from the Vedas is Bhagavad-Gita, that we are also reading. If somebody understands Bhagavad-Gita is such a nice book, we can understand it. Or it's such a nice collection of that each and every section, as soon as the section of Vedas start, the mercy of Lord Krishna started. He actually explained this knowledge in different forms. So Vedas, first of all, divided into 4 because Krishna was compassionate. He thought that we, the people of this yuga, may not be intelligent enough to understand it. So let's divide into 4. And those 4 Vedas were divided and then distributed to the 4 disciples of Srila Vedas. And those 4 disciples actually make further their disciples to distribute this knowledge. So it is coming through this disciplic succession, that information. So Rig Veda was then explained here, was given to Paila Rishi, Paila sage. he has a contribution towards Rig Veda, and then he explained the Rig Veda to his disciples and further his disciples. Then there is a Rig Veda sect coming along. The Yajur Veda was given to Sri Vaishampayan Rishi, who further give that information of Yajur Veda to their disciples. Sama Veda was given to Jaimini Rishi, and Atharva Veda was given to Angira Rishi. So that way, Srila Vedvyas distribute this information to his disciplic succession, and and they actually give it to their disciples. So the second question, whether it was created, why it was created, to we all know that to purify ourselves, and then whether it was created by a human being, no, it cannot understand, because Vedas are actually the compilation. They are the knowledge, eternal knowledge. A knowledge can only be so when we take about the concept of knowledge, there are two things come in. One comes as a theory, and another comes as a practical knowledge. Theoretical knowledge and the practical knowledge, both goes together. Until and unless we do something practically and see the results from our eyes, we don't believe in theory up to some extent. Theory we study, we read it, but we cannot believe on that theory until unless we start seeing the results. So that is what the knowledge is about. So Vedas or the Upanishad, all the 4 Vedas that were written, that were given to us, to human community, were actually eternal. Eternal means they're just written in the form of books, in the formats. When we say word eternal to anything, it means that they are in existence since time immemorial. They were known to the people. They were known to all the mass communities by heart. As soon as people hear something about Vedic scriptures, they by heart it. That's why we usually sometimes hear in some classes that Bhagavad-Gita was known to everyone. Bhagavad-Gita is there. Bhagavad-Gita is part of Vedas. And we read in Bhagavad-Gita that this Bhagavad-Gita is actually in existence from the day when Suryadev is existing. Vivaswan. Lord Krishna has given this information to Vivaswan in chapter 4. We read about it. Evam Vivasvate Yogam. It's not that just been told 5,000 years ago only. So the entire knowledge that we talk about Vedas or Srimad Bhagavad-Gita combined in a combined format is existing since the day when sun came into existence. If we go by material scientist calculation, what is the age of sun? If you go to any website or Google that, they just say that approximately some billion years ago. So if we even follow that calculation also, some billion trillion years ago when sun came, from that very moment, Vedas information is existing, or Bhagavad Gita is existing. So it's difficult to calculate the time. So, and since that time it is existing, not even a single critic is there, not even a single person is there. There are so many intellectual class has gone before us. If we talk about ancient history, there were Narad Muni, and then there is a different rishis, like different acharyas were there, Vashishta Muni, then Vishwamitra Muni. These are all very intellectual peoples. They read all these Vedas. They haven't find out, okay, this shloka is wrong over here. If we talk about medieval history is including Chanakya Pandit, or before that is there are so many intellectual people like our Vaishnava Acharyas, Shivas Thakur, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, and then Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya ji. All these are very learned and intellectual and very highly exalted personalities. They read these Vedas in different form. They even don't find anything wrong written in Vedas. If we talk about our modern history, like recently, the period when we living in, there are so many intellectual peoples who are reading Bhagavad Gita, who are reading the scriptures of Vedas. They are also not able to find anything flaw written in the scriptures of the Vedas. So since time immemorial, not even a single mistake has been found in any of the Vedic scriptures, and not even a single critic has said that this particular shloka is wrong, this particular thing is wrong. So We know that to err is human, and we also read about in Bhagavad-Gita that every human has 4 defects. You also have 4 defects. I also have 4 defects. I have limited senses. Because of limited senses, I always commit mistakes. And since I'm committing mistakes, I remain in illusion. I think that I consider at night when I see a long rope, I consider it as snake, because I have the probability to commit mistakes. Since I'm committing mistake, I will always remain in illusion. And since I have remaining in illusion, I have a cheating propensity because I don't know the fact. So these 4 mistakes we all have. With these 4 mistakes, every human having these 4 mistakes, that limited senses, cheating propensity, in illusion, committing mistakes, one cannot write such an exalted literature that we have in existence, which you call as Vedas or Bhagavad-Gita. So it is not written by any of the human who has equipped with these four defects. It is given to us as it is, as Srila Vedvyas is telling us here. Then we read about the different sections of people for which we have been getting this information. In today's shloka, we come to know about a few sections of people that's been written over there. And the Srila Prabhupada actually put a stress on Dvijabandhus, who are basically the Dvijabandhus that's been explained by Srila Prabhupada here, and how we can understand from our perspective what our state is when we talk about Dvijabandhus, and when we talk about anything. Like most of the time there are questions, and we have heard this question in our classes as well, in Bhagavad-Gita, in Srimad Bhagavatam class, specifically the women class of people, why they are considered as a low born, why they considered as a less intelligent personality. So all these confusions actually remains in our mind if we don't go through the source, and if we don't hear from the Vaishnavacharyas, the authentic Vaishnavacharyas. So the Dvijabandhus are the persons who explained, Srila Prabhupada explaining here, is that a person who are the relatives or persons who are associate of Brahmanas. Now we know that Brahmanas are not by birth. Brahmanas are people who are by their activity, their nature. So any person who is associating with a Brahminical quality person, but he himself doesn't have that Brahminical quality, could be called as Dvijabandhu. If somebody is sick in our house, why we usually go to the hospital, and why we ask in the hospital who is the authentic medical surgeon here whom I can get to see myself of my relative. He is sick right now, or I am sick right now. If somebody is standing over there, or even the son of that doctor who's authentic to see my sickness or to cure my sickness, if that particular doctor's son comes to us and see us and talk to us, okay, I am the son of that doctor, let me see what's happening to you, let me prescribe some medicine. Can we take that medicine from that son? Nobody will take that. None of the intelligent person will take that. Unless and until doctor will not prescribe me the medicines, I will not take these medicines, even if it has been prescribed by the son of a doctor. Similarly, a person who's in army, he has the right to fire at anyone and kill anyone. As long as he's killing at the border, he has been given the Paramveer Chakra. But as soon as he come inside in the community and kill even a single person, he will be arrested. His son, if he goes to the border, and he himself doesn't have the right to kill at the border itself, so he is not authentic soldier. Similarly, Dvijabandhus are those people who either associated some way or the other, or have taken birth in a Brahminical family, but they themselves doesn't have the quality to get that Brahminical qualification. Those are less intelligent people. Why they are less intelligent? Then there is Srila Prabhupada is giving the explanation of and giving the importance of sanskaras. What's the importance of? Now here comes how we can relate also, how we can become intelligent in that way. So these sanskars are very important in our life. That's the importance Srila Prabhupada is giving here. And there are 16 sanskar, starting from Garbhadan sanskar, and the last sanskar is Antim sanskar. Between the Garbhadan sanskar and 16 and the Antim sanskar, there are numerous other sanskars. And the Garbhadan sanskar, why it is important? Because Garbhadan is when a mother and father who are devotee of Krishna are actually requesting Krishna that we have a devotee child, or even if whatever child will come, we'll make your devotee, will make him or her, or utilize him or her in your service. So there are different rules and regulations of the Garbhadan sanskar, but most of the cases are like that in this Kali Yuga when Garbhadan sanskar are missed. Either because we don't know about it or we don't care about it. One of the reasons. But what's the impact of that miss is? Srila Prabhupada is writing here, devoid of these sanskars, Dvij Bandhus are being born. Although we have the capability, but our child or children may not have that capability. Or they may not understand the capability of spirituality, what the level of understanding we have. It could be any reason, but it all starts from Garbhadan sanskar. And why it is impacted? Srila Prabhupada actually given that particular quotation in Canto 1, Chapter and Canto 1, Shlok number 1 in the purport. It's been written that Janate Jayate Shudra, the person who is from by birth is all the person are Shudra. Whoever is taking the birth on this planet is Shudra, first of all. Then how we get uplifted? Janmate Jayate Shudra, Sanskar Dvijjo Uttama. When the sanskar is given to him or her, then he becomes Uttam. Uttam means come to the human platform or come to the uplifted platform. When sanskar is given, like Garbhadan sanskar, then Upanayan sanskar, then all other, then up to different, then Vivah sanskar, and all those things happens. Sanskar Dvijjo Uttama, and sanskar starts from Garbhadhan. And after getting sanskar, what's the next step? Ved Pathi Vipraha. And when he read the Vedas, this information that we are reading in the form of Bhagavad-Gita or in the form of, or when he read this Vedas, the ultimate knowledge that Veda is giving is Krishna is Supreme Personality of Godhead. There is no other God beside Krishna. Krishna is the one and only Supreme Personality. Everyone else is his servant. Eklo eva Krishna, Anna Savi Bhratya. We read that in Chaitanya Charitamrita also. That's the ultimate knowledge of Srimad Bhagavad of Vedas. It also comes from Bhagavad Gita also. So if somebody reads Vedas and understand in his life, even Srila Prabhupada, I was just listening one of the lecture of one of the great devotee in the ISKCON Chowpatty Mandir, that, sorry, in ISKCON Vrindavan, if somebody just understand in his life that Krishna is Supreme Personality, I just need to serve him. Just by having that understanding up to the core of their heart, Krishna is Supreme and I have to serve him, he is 40% liberated. Just with that understanding only. He's not doing any bhakti, he's not doing anything, any chanting or anything like that. He just have this clear understanding that Krishna is the real personality, real supreme control. Because that very person has understand the summary of Vedas. He understood that what Veda is actually saying. So that is actually the ultimate information when person become Vipraha, Ved party Vipra. Vipra means Brahman. A Brahman is a person. Somebody cannot claim himself Brahman if he has the slightest doubt in his mind that Krishna is supreme. If he has the slightest doubt in his mind that there may be someone else, there may be Durga Ji, there may be Sai Baba, there may be other Devi Devtas. Any slightest doubt in their mind that there is any other supreme personality than Krishna, he is not at the Brahmanical level. Not a Brahman. But today's Brahman, we are seeing so many Brahmans taking birth in Mishra family or in the Bhardwaj family. They are eating beetles and they are also not able to recite shlokas properly. They don't know how many times Brahmana has to bath in a day. They don't know how to what kind of purity is required, both external purity, even the external, so there are external purities and internal purities. So that was also, we are learning at this point as well. But it's always very good to learn these qualities of Brahmanas. And sooner we learn it, the better, more purified we will become earlier. So external and internal purities are needed. But ultimately, if the thing is that the Vipra stage will come when somebody read about Vedas, Ved party Vipraha. So before that, if somebody is taking birth in a Brahmanical family, or if he is a relative of a Brahmanical Brahmana, but he doesn't have the qualities of the Brahmana, he is called as Dvijabandhu. And why he remains Dvijabandhu? Either because he haven't followed the Garbhadhan Sanskar or any of the Sanskars that's happened, or he might have missed it due to some reason, or because his parent doesn't know about it. And why the parent doesn't know about it? Because their parent also doesn't know about it. So there is a big ancestral gap. Even our parent doesn't know what's the importance of Krishna Bhakti. That's why we are still struggling. Why they didn't told it about it? Because their parent doesn't know about it. Neither they care about it. Neither it's been taught in schools or colleges that how much important this spirituality is in our life, how much knowledge we are missing from this Vedas and this spirituality, that how much upliftment we can do in this human form of life after getting such an advanced body. We just miss this opportunity in eating, sleeping, mating, and defending. And still, the mercy that we started with, how much merciful Krishna is, he has given this Vedas in different format. First of all, he divided one Veda into 4, and then he wrote the 5th Veda, which is our Puranas and the Upanishads. Even after that, the Itihas that is coming in, where the Mahabharata, in this shloka, the Mahabharata has been quoted, is the ultimate information coming from Veda in a story format. Because Vedvyaji has foreseen it that there will be Dvijbandhus, there will be Shudras, there will be people of low mentality who will not understand this. Now, there is a specific section of women have been mentioned here, that's 3. And there is normally a doubt that normally comes in the mind of most of the Matajis that why actually Srila Prabhupada has written this. It's not the verdict of, first of all, Srila Prabhupada, the verdict coming from the Shastra. This is scriptural text. Then why the scriptures are denying the importance of women? It's not the case. The way we visualize it is our material view. If we can accept this in 2 ways. First way is that that first of all, the person who has a doubt on this shloka, they can easily understand that the Vedas also are giving the verdict in the form of Bhagavad-Gita that what is our real self is. Our real self is not this body. As long as we don't understand this knowledge that we are not this body, we are the souls. As long as we are not understanding Atma Tattva, we cannot understand Krishna Tattva. In order to understand Krishna Tattva, Atma Tattva is very much needed. First 6 chapters of Bhagavad-Gita started with Atma Tattva information. Middle 6 chapters 7 to 12 is given the Krishna Tattva information. So Atma Tattva is therefore Krishna has explained earlier. Arjuna, first of all, know who you are. He doesn't explain to Arjuna, Arjuna, listen who I am, first of all. In order to understand me, first of all, in order to get rid of all these problems you are facing, you have to understand, first of all, who we are actually. So even if he's in the form of a women body or in a man body or in a mosquito body or anywhere, our real identity is we are souls. It doesn't matter we believe it or not believe it. This is a fact as per Vedic instructions. Once we understand it, we got to know that why the women bodies are degraded. Then the question comes, why not men bodies are degraded? We are right now in a women body, and so can we consider that we are in a degraded body? No. The opportunity is given still, even if we think that Vedas consider women body is a degraded body, still Vedas are giving an opportunity to that particular body, to that particular soul who's in that body right now in the form of Mahabharata, so that he can reach back to Godhead again. The opportunity is not closed for anyone to reach back to Godhead. It's for everyone by Krishna. Somehow, because of our karmic reaction, we are in man body or in women body or in a mosquito body or in dog body. It doesn't matter. But whatever, as long as we are in the human body right now, we have been given the opportunity to go back to Godhead, to go back our real home, to go back to our real Father. But the problem is that we don't know our Father itself, and we keep on arguing that this is wrong, this is the scriptures are wrong, and that is why. At least I know my Father. I can write in the form who my Father's name is. But people sometimes have doubt. Oh, my Father could be a Nirakar. My Father could be a Shakti Tattva. I am still researching about my Father. That kind of thought process people have, because they don't. If somebody doesn't know Atma Tattva, he cannot understand Krishna Tattva. If he cannot understand Krishna Tattva, he cannot understand his real identity. It's all linked information. And with that information, if we follow our scriptures, we will definitely get the answers to all our queries, especially this one. So women bodies or man body, it doesn't matter as long as somebody knows about Atma Tattva. Even and once somebody understands this Atma Tattva, he can understand that why Lord Krishna has given so much importance to Shabri Mata out of so many sages. Lord Ram himself went to Shabri Mata. People are seeking darshan of Lord Ram, and here Lord Ram is seeking Shabri Mata, where Shabri Mata lives. What will be the biggest example here? There are so many such other examples. Draupadi Mata Chirharan. Why Krishna take care of Draupadi Mata and reach at the time when he is eating the food in Dwarikapuri? He just left wherever he is. He just right away ran over there. He took Garuda, and Garuda ji says, "Oh Garuda, you are becoming old now. Let me run fast now. Draupadi is calling me." So that's the mood of Krishna is. If Krishna is not discriminating, it's our material mindset that make us believe in that. So this particular section of where they listed over there, if we still understand that this is still degraded, but that women bodies have been degraded, but we should understand that still there is an opportunity for us to go back to our real Father. If we understand this Atma Tattva information, we will certainly get ourselves uplifted from women body or man body, and we can understand that the real purpose of the scriptures is not just to distinguish all this lower information, but to give us a higher information, just to give us a GPS, a Goloka positioning system, how to reach Golok Vrindavan. That's the main aim of this scriptures. With that note, I would like to conclude here. I know that it's already 7:59. If there's any questions, any doubts, any comments, any concerns, if you have, the forum is open now. If you have get something, it's, as I said, it's all because of mercy of my Guru Maharaj. It's all because of him I can able to speak. Otherwise, I don't have enough quality to speak out anything. Hare Krishna.
Hare
Krishna Mataji.
Prabhuji, it was a very powerful presentation that you gave us and opened our eyes again and again.
Your voice is breaking for me only, Mataji, or
away.
for everyone. I'm not sure. I'm not able to hear what you said. The last part of it, after that powerful presentation, just something.
Better?
Yeah, Mataji voice is breaking, Prabhu.
Can you hear me now?
Yes, Mataji, yes. properly.
Hello.
Yeah, Mataji, we can hear you.
So, okay. So, Prabhuji, the one thing I take away from here is like how you said that there are various ways the information is coming. Various ways the information is coming into our system, and it is very important that we train those points of information so that it grasps the right information and which is beneficial for us. And that was very powerful that you said that, you know, the eyes has such a powerful it's so powerful that it can drag the whole body to different different places, like, you know, fraction. So it's very important that we train our eyes to see the right attraction. And that another thing is like the women body. Somewhere I heard that, you know, all in spiritual, like at the platform of soul, all the souls are considered as women's soul, and only men or Purush is Krishna. So eternally we are all three, I would say, and our purpose is to serve him, serve the Lord. Is that true, Prabhu?
Yes, Mataji. So when we say three is still material. Our real identity is we are the energy of Krishna. And energy is where Tatastha Shakti. Either it's in the Sri form or in a man form or in any form. Our original entity is that we are the energy of Krishna, and like I have energy, and that energy is helping me to lift my hand. So it is because I want to lift my hand, and since I want to lift my hand, I am utilizing my energy to lift it, to pick up something. So that is, this energy is helping me to pick up some object. Similarly, we are the energy of Krishna. Our main business is to serve Krishna some way or the other. As long as we are doing it, we'll be saved. As long as we remain in the confusion that I am man or I am women, we are not at the Atma Tattva platform, we'll be missing the goal over there. So that's the importance of understanding the energy of Krishna, what all Krishna is saying. And this is actually also proved in the event of one of the historical event of when Mirabai met with Srila Jiva Goswami in Vrindavan. And Jiva Goswami has the vow that he did not see any women, strictly following what Chaitanya Mahaprabhu has established, the rules and regulations. When Mirabai reached to his premise and asked the servant of Srila Jiva Goswami that please instruct, I want to talk to Jiva Goswami. Jiva Goswami said that, Jiva Goswami sent that servant back saying that I don't want to meet with any woman. Then Mirabai actually conveyed the written message to him that I know only Krishna as the man in this entire universe. Who is the second man now taken birth? And by hearing that message, Jiva Goswami came out of this is really exalted soul who has come here, and they have a discourse and they have a discussion with each other. So the ultimate information, Mati, as you rightly said, that Atma Tattva information is needed, and we all are at the platform of a like a Stri, we can say that, but that is still material. Our real identity is that we are Tatastha Shakti of Krishna. We are the energy of Krishna. We have a tendency to either slip toward eternal potency, like Radharani, or we have a tendency to slip towards material energy of Krishna. This tendency we have. That's why we keep on oscillating between two energies. And by the association of devotees like we have here, always there is a tendency to move towards eternal energy, Radharani, and serve Radharani in different way, different aspect we can.
Thank
To
you.
ultimately serve Krishna, actually.
Yeah, that is the incident I was referring to. Thank you, Prabhu. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Mataji.
Hare Krishna, Prabhu.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji.
Thank you for nice class, Prabhu. It's so inspiring. I like the analogy you made about store and cameras. When the object is detected, the camera zoom in. So similarly, our senses also go towards it.
Yeah, that is because the entire credit goes to His Grace Chaitanya Charan Prabhu. He is such nice examples, and I just pick up something from his lecture, and it is very nice analogy he used to give, and he is very like all these concepts he discussed in a very practical way, and this is one of the examples. All glories to him.
Prabhu, thank you, Prabhu. And also in-depth details about Vijay Bandhu. So thank you, Prabhu. Nice class, Prabhu. Hare Krishna.
Thank you, Prabhu. Hare Krishna.
Padmadeshwar Prabhu. Lal
Hare
Gopal.
Krishna, Prabhu. Hare Krishna.
Because, I was going to use the same word, what Veena Mataji said, a powerful lecture. I felt the same thing as a first feedback. It was very nicely sequenced, and a lot of answers are within your class itself. That means the thought process are perfectly around the class and the subject matter. So it was really, really well structured and presented with no any sort of confusion in between. Thank you for that wonderful class. I just want to have a couple of things that need to clarification.
Sure.
I'm sure this, you're just using these terms I'm thinking that you're just using these terms just to make the audience understand in a simple manner. But then you several times told the Vedas are created, right? So I just want to make sure is that's what you literally mean. Also, because the reason I'm saying is you also mentioned that Vedas are eternal. So is it eternal means it cannot be created? If it's created, it cannot be eternal. So that's my first thing that I just want you to clarify that to the audience and myself.
Sure, Prabhuji. Maybe I've misspoken it, but my intention to use that word create is to amplify the questions which normally in materialistic mind people used to say that whether Vedas are created or those are not created by any human being. That was my intention but to my understanding, Vedas are eternal. With an example, like it's not created, it's just been came in a written format by Srila Vedvyasji. It was existing even at the period when we take an example of that, a sun god as well, like a billion
Right.
trillion years ago. Yeah,
that's fine. I got that. Just want to make sure that we all get the message. Your intent of saying that it's created is not actually created. So
sure.
everyone understands.
Thank you for
that.
pointing it out. Yeah, that's a nice catch.
Yeah, there's two other things based on Gita pointing out. Oh, by the way, I just have to really appreciate one more thing, that very nicely you, in just less than I would say 15 seconds, you summarize Bhagavad-Gita, saying that how the first 6 chapters about understanding who we are, and then comes to the point of who Krishna is. And it was really very nicely said in just one sentence statements. It's really nice the way you put together that one. All right. So on the Bhagavad Gita part, when you mentioned that Bhagavad Gita is part of Vedas. Is that really what you meant?
Yeah, how I took it and how I understand it, Prabhu, is when we talk about Vedas, then we have Puranas and Itihasas also being considered as Pancham Veda. Itihas and Mahabharata is a section where it's given.
Sorry, before you get into, because I will finish my question shortly so that you can answer together.
Sure.
Because there's a contradictory in your statements. One time you said Gitas are part of Vedas. And then later you said Vedavyas gave the Vedas. I'm using gave Vedas, where you said wrote Vedas, which is fine. I understand you already answered that question. Vedavyas wrote Vedas, and then after that he wrote Upanishads and Puranas. So where does this, I'm just trying to understand when these two statements, Gita is part of Vedas, and then Upanishads and Puranas, he wrote it later after writing Vedas. So how is the Gita fit into this whole the statements that you said?
Sure, Prabhu. So my understanding is, and I definitely like some correction if you feel it wrong, is the Vedas are we know about that. It's originally there is one Veda which is actually giving the same information as we have in Bhagavad-Gita. And Krishna also said that this information is not new. It's coming through Bhagavad-Gita. It's already there existing. But based on the understanding level of the people, Vedvyas thought to break this one Veda into different Vedas, and then also Upanishad and Puranas as well. And in Itihas, and Mahabharata is a section. Mahabharata is the Puran or the Itihas, which Vedvyas which we read today in our shloka, out of which Bhagavad-Gita is one of the section. So inside Mahabharata, it's already been written, the Atma Tattva information, Bhagavad Tattva, and all that information is there to my understanding, which Krishna again spoke to Arjuna in the battlefield. So my point of indicating that was that Gita is actually a part of Veda in a form that it's a part of a story format of Veda, like Mahabharata when we talk about. It's still connected with Veda in some form, which you call as Mahabharata.
Okay.
Yeah.
So your intent of saying that is not that Bhagavad Gita is part of, because Vedas are by itself. There are Shrutis and Smritis, right?
Yes.
So so Vedas is separate by itself, whereas Bhagavad Gita is not part of Vedas. But the content, the message of Vedas, content of Gita is certainly there in the Vedas. Gita derived the content from the Vedas.
Yeah.
And then Upanishad is also part of Vedas. It is not separate from Vedas. There's Purva Bhaga and Uttara Bhaga, right?
Yes.
So Vedas has Upanishad within it. So Vedavyas did not write Upanishad separately. It is part of the Vedas. That's just one. I just want to make sure that is clear.
Sure, Prabhu. Thank you. That's a nice correction and a lesson learned here.
I'm not here to. I'm just because everyone is listening. I just want to make sure everyone gets the right thing, not to
definitely
find faults or not to point and not to find faults or not to show that I know better. That's not the intent. But the same message will go to other 10 people. Whoever is here may go and tell another 10 people the message, get wrong message. That's why I just want to speak up.
Definitely, Prabhu. Thank you for correction. First of all, this is all we need. Learn and grow together. So,
yes. Well, thank you, Prabhu. Thanks for accepting my feedback. Really a wonderful, as I said, it's really nice. In Ramacharya Prabhu's words, powerful lecture. Ramacharya Prabhu, whenever he likes it, he says it's powerful. So that's a word I'm also using. Veena Mataji also used. Thank you. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. It's all mercy of my Guru Maharaj. That's it. Any other question? Comments, concerns? Okay, it's almost 8:14. If there is no other question, then we can conclude with the Vaishnava Pranam. Vancha kalpatarubhischa kripa sindhubhe vacha patitanam pavanebhyo vaishnavebhyo namo namaha. Assembled Bhaktivinoda ki jai. Namachar Srila Haridas Thakur ki jai. Jagat Guru Srila Prabhupada ki jai.